Welcome back, everybody. Of course, this is Dr. Keith McNally, and I'm now going to talk to you about the third pivotal learning strategy for students using the project-based learning philosophy. So I'm going through a series of 6 crucial learning strategies that are wrapped in PBL, okay? And the first one talked about risk-taking and not being afraid to fail. The second one talked about collaboration, and that was quite extensive. I spent 10 full minutes just about talking about how to be an effective team member. Today, I want to talk about inquiry, or basically asking questions. So, if you've been following my video content or vlogs either on YouTube or here on LinkedIn, I'm all about inquiry. Ask questions, ask a lot of questions, ask the right questions, ask the wrong questions, ask questions. Because I have a really strict learning philosophy or learning circle, and I call it the learning experience. And there's 4 key elements, and it's asking questions, discovering the answers, answering the question, and then reflecting back on that process. And it can be thought of as a circle, and sometimes the pieces of that circle can interchange, but eventually it always comes back to the beginning, asking questions. And so I know, as an educator and an educator who is focused on PBL, it starts from what we call an umbrella question, and you could call it the umbrella question, the driving question, the probing question, whatever you want to call it. It's the big picture question. So it really is the motivating and the driving force behind the PBL experience. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. The strategy, the lifelong learning strategy that is inherent in project-based learning is inquiry. Okay. We want to be comfortable and eventually good at asking questions because we are in an age where we're just inundated with data, and it's not necessarily information. It's just chunks of data that's just kind of being thrown at us from just about every direction we could conceive of. Teachers, peers, YouTube, vlogs, blogs. There's this data everywhere, and it can be overwhelming, it can be confusing, and many times it can be simply wasteful. And I say that, and I create content all the time. Hopefully, sometimes I may I don't want to say this, and I hope not, that this content isn't wasteful, but it's geared towards for people who are interested in the topic area, and it's not for everybody. And I know that, and I recognize that, and my listeners know that, and my listeners recognize it. It's for you. But anybody can kind of listen and gain something of value from this, meaning ask questions. And why is asking questions so important? And it doesn't matter where you are in life in terms of your your lifelong learning experience, whether you're in kindergarten or you're in your doctoral program or you've given up on school and you're just trying to take care of the basics of life. Ask questions. We are in a situation where we are in a pandemic. What valuable questions would you want answered regarding that topic? How did it start? When is it going to end? What are my resources? How is the stimulus check helping? When am I going to get a job? Are there jobs becoming available? There's lots of critical questions that you should be asking, and not just searching for data. We should Google pandemic or Google jobs or whatever. No, make your search valuable. Ask the right questions. And so that is a key strategic lifelong learning skill, is ask questions. And it starts in school. So it starts with the PBL experience. It starts with the PBL activity. And that helps us focus on what it is that you were looking to do, because the PBL activity has an end goal, has an end purpose. It has a problem that needs to be solved, and eventually it's going to produce a product that either solves the problem, addresses the problem, or gives us new information about the problem. It could be any one of those three, and it can be done in a variety of different ways. But the key is you have to start by asking questions. And so that I never stop saying that you have to ask questions. And so for today, my lesson learned is know how to ask questions, not be afraid to ask questions, because typically we say there is no silly or stupid question. And generally saying that's probably true. However, that's not always true. In the right environment, certain things are kind of silly to ask. But when we think about what is it we're trying to get to, how focused is our questioning, then we then learn to frame the questions in the right way. Now, we can start by the big picture question, such as the probing question or the umbrella question. What are we going to learn today? What do I need to do today? And then we could kind of narrow down or focus those questions on key elements. And of course, there's always the 5 plus the H. So who, what, where, when, why, and how, right? There's always these things that are valuable to know. There's always a person involved. Who, what needs to be done, or what's the content I should be focused on? Where geographically, where in time, where, when, time frame, deadlines. What is the impact of content during, before, and after certain events? Why? Why did something occur? Was there a facilitator? Was there a motivation? What was the, why did this occur? We need to find out. And then how does something work? How do we get things to work together? How does the who and the what come together? So there's lots of ways of focusing our attention if we ask the right questions. A lot of times we don't want to ask the question at all. And as an educator, I know that. And I'm in the college classroom a lot. And often students kind of hold back, again, not wanting to look silly or stupid, and that's understandable. So they're going to hold back and wait and see if somebody else does ask the question. And oftentimes it comes back on the teacher, i.e. me or you, to actually ask the question, because students may be afraid. And I'm going to say, okay, now that the question has been asked, what are your thoughts and your feelings about the question and the answers? Are there additional answers that you want to add to the conversation? And so that's really where I want to leave it right now. So we've talked about risk taking, we talked about collaboration, and now we've talked about inquiry or asking questions. We started as a funnel. The funnel starts wide, and of course it narrows down further and further as our questions become more precise, clear in terms of its content and its value. So with that, hopefully this was of value to you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.